Hello there, and then welcome to a brand new lesson. This is Half Beyond Numbers, where we learn maths the easy way. In this lesson, we are looking at expanding bracket. In expanding bracket, it is just the process of removing brackets by multiplying the terms outside of a bracket by everything inside the bracket. We'll be looking at two parts. That is the monomial multiplying a polynomial, and then a binomial multiplying a polynomial. So without much ado, let's quickly look into it. So the first one we'll be looking at is multiplying what? A monomial by a polynomial. We know a monomial simply has to do with one term. Now, in doing that, we need the distributive property. That is, you are distributing what you have outside here, the monomial, over whatever you have inside your bracket. You can take it as this. So we call the term outside the visitor. So it acts like a visitor, and then it greets each and every term inside the house. So if this is our house and this is a visitor, as you approach the house, you need to greet everybody in the house. A times B then gives us what? Our AB we have over here. Then A times C gives us our AC we have over here. This is just what we mean by the distributive property. It is important you take note of your signs when you are working them out. Let's solve one example under this. So for the example on this distributive property, we have simplify negative 3 into bracket 2x minus 5. So negative 3x, then into bracket 2x minus 5. Our visitor here becomes the negative 3x. And it has to visit or greet each and every term in the house. That is what the distributive method says. So what we are going to do is you would have to multiply your negative 3x by the 2x you have over here. 2 times 2x. Then you multiply your negative 3x also by what? Your negative 5. And we know that can be written as, so into bracket, negative 3x minus 5. If you do understand it, there is no need trying to separate, but because I'm explaining, that's why I want to write everything out so you understand. So you can just go straight forward and say your negative 3x times negative times 2x, which we have over here, will then give you negative 3 times 2, giving us a negative 6. Then x times x gives us an x squared. Now you don't rush to write the positive because you take note of the signs you have over here. There's actually a negative times a negative. So negative times negative would give us positive. We can agree on that. Then we have our 3 times 5, which gives us a 15. Then since x is alone, we have our x over here. This is how we use the distributive property to expand bracket. So let's quickly try this last one here before we go to the next session. It says you have to simplify 2 into bracket x plus 4, bracket close, then plus 3. So 2 bracket open, x plus 4, bracket close, and then plus 3. How do we go about it? This is the visitor, and it needs to greet everybody in the house. So first of all, we have 2 times x. And 2 times x gives us 2x. Then we have the 2 times 4. 2 times 4 also gives us an 8. We are done expanding the bracket, and then we have our plus 3. Luckily, it's already in like terms. So we have our 2x, then the 8, and then the 8 plus 3, which then gives us a 12. This is our simplest form. Now you have to take note that you would not always have just one term in front of the bracket. You not always have just a monomial in front of the bracket, as you have seen here. There are instances where we have binomials multiplying what? Binomials. That is brackets multiplying other brackets. Let's look at how we go about that. So talking of the binomial method, if you have, let's say, A plus B, and you are multiplying it by a C plus D, these here needs us to use the FOIL method. Now, FOIL is just an acronym. What it means is the F here simply means multiply the first terms in each bracket. So talking of the first term in each bracket, we are going to multiply A by C, DC. So you multiply our A by C. Then O means you multiply the outermost terms. The outermost terms here, we mean in this bracket, which one is outside? Which one is the outermost term? That is A. In this bracket, the B is also the outermost term. So we multiply A by B as well. That is O. Then you now multiply the innermost term. That is where the I comes in. So we multiply the innermost term, and these are the innermost terms. So we multiply B by C, and then lastly, you now multiply the last terms in each bracket. So talking of the last term in each bracket, we multiply our B by the D. This is what the FOIL method says. Better still, I would say just take your A and then distribute it, or distribute both terms in the first bracket over the second bracket. So A should multiply this whole bracket, and then B should also multiply this whole bracket. And by so doing, I mean, we take our A, then it multiplies C plus D. And then we come to our positive B as well, which also multiplies C by D. And by so doing, you have actually rewritten your binomial times binomial as a sum of two monomial times a binomial. And with this, we are just going to multiply our A by our C, which gives us AC, plus A by D, which gives us AD, B by C, which gives us BC, B by C, which gives us BC, and then B by D, which would also give us BD. And if there is any simplification, you do that upon request. Now let's look at some examples just to enhance our understanding. So as we see in this example, it says we have to expand, open bracket, x plus 3 bracket close, then open another bracket, x plus 5 bracket close, x plus 3, and then x plus 5. So as I said earlier on, we will try our best to distribute these terms over this bracket. That is, A should multiply everything in this bracket, and then 3 should also do same. And by so doing, I mean we are going to get x, then into bracket, x plus 5. That is x multiplying everything here. Then we come to the 3, which is the second term. So plus 3, you take note of the sign that comes before it as well. X into bracket, x plus 5. Then plus 3 into bracket, x plus 5. With that, we treat them both as monomial over what? Binomial. So that x times x, the visitor greeting everybody. So x times x then gives us our x squared. Then x times 5 also gives us a 5x. Then we come to the next thing, which is 3 times x. It gives us a 3x. And then 3 times 5, which also gives us 15. With that, if there's any simplification that needs to be done, we do it. With this here, we say they are like terms. Hence, we have our x squared, then 5x plus 3x gives us an 8x. So 8x and then plus 15. And that is it for this question. Very simple, as you see. So let's try this other one with regards to the second part. And then we can move on to one last aspect. So it says you have to simplify 2a plus 1 in one bracket, in another bracket, a minus 3. So we have 2a plus 1 and then a minus 3. So if you want to use the distribution, you take 2a and then cross it over to this whole bracket. And we'll do the same to our 1 as well. Starting off with the 2a. I think that won't go here. So we have our 2a multiplying a minus 3. That is the whole of this multiplying the bracket. And then you have a 1 multiplying the whole of this bracket as well. So it's a positive 1 into bracket a minus 3. We would now want to simplify further. 2a times a then gives us our 2a squared. Then 2a times negative 3. Take note of the signs. So because it's a positive 2 times a negative 3, we're going to get a negative 6a. Then 1 times a gives us our a, and then 1 times negative 3 on the other hand gives us negative 3. With this done, if there's any simplification, that is where that takes over. These here are like terms. Take note, they are not as a squared. We said in our previous sessions that for two terms to be like terms, then the variables need to be the same, and the powers on the variables also need to be the same. Hence, these are only like terms here. We have our 2a squared, then negative 6 plus, there is a 1 here. So negative 6 plus 1 gives us a negative 5a minus 3. And that becomes our answer to the question we have over here. This is how we simplify when you have two binomials. That is a binomial multiplying another binomial. There are some cases where the two brackets won't be written out for you, but then you'd have to intuitively know that they are actually binomials. That is when they are squares or cubes. Let's take some of those examples and see how we can go about it. So talking of squaring a binomial, what I meant was if you have a plus a b, which is all squared, what this simply means is that your a plus b is multiplying itself this way. And with that, it looks like a binomial multiplying a binomial, where we would say your a should multiply your a in that order using the for method. Let's take some example. If you have to multiply x plus 5, or if you have to simplify x plus 5 all squared, how do we go about it? At this stage, since we have done so many similar examples, you can choose to pause and then do it yourself. We have x plus 5 all squared. And as we have said here, we know what it means. It means x plus 5 is multiplying itself again. So x plus 5 times x plus 5. Then with that, we can do our distribution. So x takes your x plus 5. That is the first term takes the whole bracket. And then the second term also does same. And x times x gives us x squared. X times 5, on the other hand, gives us the 5x. We have x, or 5 times x, which also gives us a 5x. And then 5 times 5, which would give us a 25. With this, we then simplify. So x squared, then 5x plus 5x gives us a 10x. And then plus our 25. We are good to go. So this is how we simplify when there are squares on the binomial. That ends our lesson for expanding binomials when there are brackets. It is very simple, as you have seen. You can either use the distributive method or the FOIL method. As usual, I'll leave you some examples or some exercises so you try them out on your own to test your understanding. So here you have 5 questions you can try on your own just to test your understanding. Let's have Beyond Numbers where we learn maths the easy way. If this is your first time on this channel and so do wish, you can subscribe so that anytime I release a video, you'll be notified as well. See you in our next lesson. Bye for now.